Prepare yourself for Earthling Entertainment, the perfect blend of paranormal and pop culture, with your host, Joe Wakefield and Ryan Lang.
Hello, and welcome to the Halloween episode of Earthling Entertainment with Joe Wakefield and Ryan Lang.
Hey, I'm the host, dressed like a Dharma Initiative employee, Joe Wakefield.
I'm the ghost with the most, babe, Ryan Lang.
That's right. So, for those of you joining us for the first time, first of all, great episode to start on.
Yes.
This one is amazing. We have an interview with Kathleen Kinmont, who is in Halloween 4 in Bride of the Reanimator. We have a Halloween game. We have a short 12-minute audio drama. All Halloween. It's our Halloween celebration. But let me do my spiel. So, what we do here is a little bit of the spooky, a little bit of the creepy. Sometimes it's cryptozoology. Other times it's a haunting or a legend or a myth, but it's always spooky or creepy, if you will. Hear me good. Followed by a segment called Disclosure Discussion. It's all about aliens.
I'm just asking questions. Aliens, UFOs, abductions. That's the kind of stuff we like to talk about.
Disclosure. Disgust. And then after that, what we do is a little bit of pop culture. The second half, the latter half, if you will, is entertainment. It might be video games. It might be movies. It might be music. And we have celebrity guests occasionally. We have, like I said, audio dramas. It's all entertainment and pop culture. And then those two halves together. You got the spooky, you got the pop culture come together. And the perfect pumpkin Reese's of deliciousness podcast known as Earthling Entertainment.
That's it. That's us, man.
I know. See, I usually say moon pie, but then it's like that feels slightly disingenuous because a moon pie is chocolate and then it's got like, the cake and then there's like a cream filling. So that's like
Marshmallow.
Yeah. So that's like 3 ingredients, right? And then before I used to say Oreo, and I guess Oreo worked. And I figure for Halloween Reese's, we are the pumpkin Reese's of podcasts this week.
I mean, that's a bold claim, but I'll take it.
But darn right. So, guys, if you like what you hear today, please download the episode. It's the best way to support us. If you'd like a Earthling Entertainment sticker, just email us at earthlingentertainmentpodcast@gmail.com.
All right, yeah.
All right. So, speaking of Reese's, this is a good way to get us started in because that was like my favorite candy when I was a kid. And part of Halloween for me is when I was a little kid, I used to watch TV, whether it be Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, what have you. And Reese's back in the day, I'm not sure if they still do, because everybody's streaming. They used to have Halloween-centric commercials. And my favorite one is like, how do you eat a Reese's? And it was like a thing they did for a while. But for Halloween, they had Halloween-y ones where
I remember
a smoke would come by and the Reese's would be covered by that smoke. And when it cleared, there was 2 holes in the Reese's. And you hear a vampire going, I eat the peanut butter first.
Yep.
And
I remember
that signaled Halloween for me. Movies and TV that was like all Halloween-centric.
I know. And like, everybody gets ads, like you said, like on YouTube and everything like that. Yeah, you just don't get seasonal ones. Like they're never creative. They're never like funny. They're always awful. And it's like the same shit over and over. It's like, yeah, they could get a little more creative like they did back in the day. Like just because, we were watching cable TV, so we were kind of stuck there for it. But like now it's like, yeah, people still get ads. Make them at least like try.
See, I agree with you. Now, Christmas or Hanukkah or any of the seasonal holidays that are very tied into religion, I understand that people want to be all-inclusive, so they're trying to avoid. They're saying happy holidays instead of Merry Christmas, all that stuff. That I get. Halloween isn't really connected to any holiday, like any religion, really. I mean, you got some religious groups who are like, we don't like it for whatever reason, but I'm just saying it's not really. So to me, it's something that you should like. Why are these cable networks? Why are these people?
Well, I mean, it's Samhain, right? Samhain.
Well, see, it's around the same time, so an argument could be made. But at the same time, if you believe in Christianity, Jesus apparently was born in the summer, not the winter, and the Christmas tree is a pagan symbol.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of like, we're converting you. So we're going to take a little bit of what you believe, mix it with what we believe, and then 1,000 years later, we do this weird tradition.
I have to agree with that. I've heard the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's just like now it's just become American holidays or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
So
because like I know
but we love Halloween.
Halloween is great, but the thing is, to get it is I also heard a story of Halloween where it's like it's the only time that the ghost can visit the living, and you put offerings on the porch, so people trick or treating. It's kind of like you are acting like those ghosts, and not imitating, but well, I guess imitating, going to house to get those offerings, and that's how trick or treating started.
I like it.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
I believe that was. I don't know if this is true, but in my head, it was a cartoon or a movie or a documentary or something, and it was Mexican belief. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I think.
Well, I know they had like all like when I went to Mexico, all the graveyards and shit like that were crazy because like they're all it's like you see there's candles lit everywhere because like the family goes there like every day, brings a new candle and lights it.
It's very very nice. I wish people would do that when I die. I don't know if
I'll
that'll
do
happen.
If you go first, Joe, I will do that, man.
Oh, damn.
It'll be a black flame candle.
All right. Well, I hope you don't get sick or something, because I might have to preemptively jump in front of a train just to make sure this happens.
You got it.
Is that
I'm
too
on
dark?
board.
Is that So what was your favorite Halloween, movie or show as a kid?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, as a kid, I read the Goosebumps books and watched the Goosebumps show, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And then that kind of molded to, Twilight Zone, then Tales from the Crypt. And like I liked those kind of things where it was like, like each, episode was its own thing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You don't have to follow along. Like that's where I'm lazy.
Yeah, you like anthology shows.
Yes, that's the word.
Well, I'm talking about like more like Halloween stuff. So like when
Friday the 13th.
No. You're
No?
misunderstanding me.
Oh.
Halloween, buddy. I'm not talking about a horror movie. I'm talking about a movie that takes place or is about Halloween.
It would probably have to be, it's like basic, but like, Hocus Pocus.
There you go. That's at least a good answer.
Definitely one of the first of like, that I remember, like, because they literally go trick-or-treating in it. Donnie Darko, that was another one, but I mean, that was, that came out when I was a little older.
Yeah, no, I get that. Also, it's like, just because Halloween is in the film, it's not a Halloween movie.
Right.
So just check it out, because I think it was Batman 2 or 3 of the 90s Batmans. One of them took place on Halloween. Not a Halloween movie. The Penguin, I think, was Christmas. It wasn't a Christmas movie.
And Batman is like, it starts off like the first line is it's like Thursday, Halloween. Like, and it starts with that.
But I'm just saying, not Halloween movie.
And what's funny is this year Halloween is on a Thursday.
Okay.
So watch the Batman.
So everyone's all about the memes, right? That's what it's going to be about. Everyone's going to do.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Halloween.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yep. That's
Did you you like the new Batman, obviously, because you love the Penguin series, I heard.
I do, and the Penguin series is its own thing. Like it really is. It's like watching Sopranos.
Sure. I mean,
Like,
I know
it's-
it does tie into the next Batman movie, like the storyline they're talking about, whatever's happening here. If Penguin's above ground or below ground, is going to feed into the next movie.
Yeah, it's just about, him being a freaking mobster, a gangster, rising to the top. It's great. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with Batman's not even like in it. I think he's like mentioned on the news, but that's it, But yeah, but back to Halloween. So like, other than Hocus Pocus, how about for you, sir?
All right, so I have a laundry list. I'm going to tell you.
All right.
So I really, really like Trick or Treat. It came out in 2007. It is an anthology film.
Well, okay. I thought you were saying like when I was younger. Like, oh yeah, you want to talk about now?
No, it could be it could be any Halloween movie.
Well, yeah, Trick or Treat's a great one.
But I got more. Ernest Scared Stupid.
I was gonna say
1991.
that was a kid one that I watched then, and there's so many people that still to this day say that they are terrified of that troll. Like
it was a creepy troll.
People our age.
I don't know how true it is, but I heard that they're the Killer Clown from Outer Space masks repainted, like a lot of the trolls.
Oh,
isn't that weird?
I did hear that.
Yeah,
that's right. I did hear.
I
want to
do a side by side comparison.
Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, like that's another good one. But that's not like a Halloween movie. But yeah, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I had that when I was younger.
Okay, well here's an interesting recommended. It's a newer. It's not really that new. It's like 12 or 13 years old, but it's newer comparatively movie. It was made by Nickelodeon, and like I said, 2012. Victoria Justice was in it. Believe it or not. But anyways, it's called Fun Size.
I don't think I ever.
It's actually pretty funny if you're down for like a teen romp. It's like the best part is she has a little brother who doesn't really talk, but he just gets into all kinds of shenanigans and he's dressed like Spider-Man. Um I don't know. I got a real big kick out of it. Ricky Lindenholm is in it. A lot of people are really in it.
Another good Halloween movie, in my opinion, House of a Thousand Corpses. That takes place on Halloween. Like that.
It's true. That is a good one.
That's a good one.
Okay, that is a good one. And I know that movie had some problem when it was coming out for distribution. Like Rob Zombie filmed it, made it, and
Yep.
it was like a year or two before like anyone would release it. But you were able to see early cuts of certain scenes at one of his shows,
It was in
right?
2001. It was called The Night of Merry Mayhem with him and Ozzy Osbourne and Mudvayne. It was
Oh,
a
man.
fucking awesome show.
I just remember being so jealous because I mean, I know I'm not overly a concert guy, but the fact that you got to see footage of a movie that was unreleased, I was like,
He showed the whole scene when she was like underground at the end getting chased by like the super mutant thing.
yeah.
He showed that whole scene.
And that was cut to shit in the actual film, so I think you probably saw an extended version, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it was longer, definitely. So I think they just played that, and of course then they played their song House of Thousand Corpses, which was fucking sweet. So
It is fucking sweet. Well, Terrifier. That's a new one, right?
yeah,
So
that's
I know the third one's it takes place on Christmas, but not a lot of people know this. Art the Clown started in a film called All Hallows Eve.
that was it. Yeah, I remember that one, and that one was messed up.
That came out in 2013, man.
And it was a different actor too, who did it at
But-
that time.
But the character,
But
the
the
character
character-
was spawned from there. I mean, a lot of
Yep.
people play Jason, even though Kane Hodder is my definitive Jason. But
Of
a lot
course.
of like different killers, different people play different the same killers.
killers.
Different killers. But you know what? Let's go a little kiddie here for a second. Do you remember Halloween Town?
I don't think I ever really watched it, but I remember it.
Oh my god. So I was super I don't know why. I liked the fun loving stuff when I was a kid. In 1998, to be fair, in 1998 I was 11 or 12. So I was the right age for this.
Okay, yeah.
And so Halloween Town came out in 1998. Then there was 2001. They had a sequel, Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge. They had Halloween Town High as a third one. And then a few years later, they had Return to Halloween Town, where they recasted the main character, and it was very odd. But the point is, this is a very cool set of films that if you had kids or you liked it when you were young, like that feel Halloween, because the whole film is them going to another universe, kind of like, Jack Skellington style, only, a lot different aesthetically.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's a whole Halloween village.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but I feel like you just said another one there with The Nightmare Before Christmas. I feel like that is like both a Halloween and a Christmas movie in a weird way.
I actually agree with you. Do
You know what I
think?
mean?
Yeah, no. Do you think which one does it fall? Like if the line was drawn, is it Christmas or
More
Halloween?
Halloween. More
I
Halloween.
think so too.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are your feelings? You asked me earlier about Alien versus Predator.
That's right. No, so Alien.
Yes.
Do you feel like Alien is classified as a horror?
Okay, I hear what you're saying. So obviously sci-fi, but I think it definitely is a horror film. So if there's a line, just to use the same analogy, if there's a line drawn, I think it's just past it into horror because of the basically chest bursters. Because
Yes.
there's this weird bug that attached to your face and it rips out your chest. That's just crazy body horror. So
And
yeah,
how slowly it stalked them one by one, the way it was shot. And that's the argument, right? Is that Alien is so different than the rest in the franchise, where it started to tiptoe more into an action flick.
well, Aliens was an action flick for sure, but I still think all of it was horror. The new one, Alien Romulus, I loved. And
I haven't seen it yet.
that one definitely is more horror.
Oh, I see
Also, because they're kind of connected, Predator. So Predator, on the other hand, I do not think is a horror film. I think
I agree.
Predator is action.
I agree. It's totally action.
Because-
it's sci-fi action.
Right? Because if that line was drawn again, they're just not quite crossed it for horror.
No, it's not horror because, like, yeah, there was something more like, I don't know, the fact that it was so intelligent and everything like that, and it would, like, had a purpose. I don't know. There was something that was more, like you said, like an action. Like it was more cat and mouse.
Ooh,
Like,
yeah.
But no, but I do love those films, though. What was the one with Donald Glover? What was the one where that was the second one, I think. That one was really good. I remember liking that. Gosh, it's been I got to watch those again. But yes, I agree. They are not a horror. So,
Totally.
but so back to the Halloween-y thing.
Well,
too.
yeah, just because we're running a little bit, we got to get to our interview with Kathleen Kinmont, which is awesome. I'm gonna just give a few honorable mentions for Halloween movies because we took the time to write them down. So, Idle Hand, great Halloween movie, ends in Halloween Dance. That Devon Sawa stars in that one. If you don't know, that was the original. I shouldn't say the original. The original was like the 30s. That was the 1995 version of Casper. Devon Sawa.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. Casper, I think, constitutes as a Halloween movie too.
Oh, it does end at a Halloween dance.
It was a ball, yeah.
But that being said, I don't know. I got to rewatch it. It's hard to say because I like to really be definitive about what is a Halloween movie. Like, for instance, Rob Zombie's 31. That is a Halloween movie. It takes place on Halloween. 31 is because it's October 31st. And they have a tradition where they put people through a maze where they basically have to deal with serial killers. And not a completely original premise and not a terribly horrible movie. I actually thought I had fun with it.
I like 31.
It ain't going to win any Oscars, but I liked it.
And I forget I'm terrible that I can't remember the guy's name. I actually got to meet him at a con. The dude from Clockwork Orange. He played a great role in that movie, honest. And I'm terrible that I can't remember his name.
Fair enough. Yes. So I'm just going to jump. Malcolm McDowell.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. So the house October built. The House October Built 2, also good. Tales from Halloween, it's okay. On Halloween, it's all right. Candy Corn. Now, Candy Corn is a great film because it has my buddy Caleb Thomas in it, and he stood up in my wedding, and I support him.
Hell
so
yeah.
That's also why I think you should go see Zombievers 2. He was one of the employees at the zoo.
Well, everybody wants to see some Zombievers.
Totally Zombievers. All right. And then classic, obviously, Halloween. Now,
how many are there?
All right. So thank you, because I want to do this. All right. So we have, in order, you know what? I'm not going to name them all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to name the timelines. So Halloween has, I believe, 3 timelines. The first Halloween, then the trilogy that just came out is one timeline. So you got Halloween, Halloween Kills. What was the last one? I don't know. Then there was that third one. Didn't go over too well. But then there is Halloween 2. Then we jump to Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection. That is another timeline.
Oh my gosh.
Then we have Halloween and then the Halloween remake, which was Rob Zombie, which is another timeline. Then
I like those two.
Then we have, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, and Halloween 6, which is another timeline.
I wish I was counting how many times you could spit out Halloween.
Yeah, no, sorry. It gets a little wacky and confusing. They, if you Google it, they have the whole chart that lays it out. Halloween 4, though, I really do like because it was a return to form because they brought Michael Myers back after the Halloween 3, which was Season of the Witch. Now, originally, John Carpenter, he envisioned the Halloween series to be kind of an anthology series where each Halloween movie would be just a different story. Now, they tried it with the third one, but because at that point, people only associated the franchise with Michael Myers, obviously it didn't do all that well, and they brought Michael Myers back with Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
So he's arguably like one of the most iconic of the horror Halloween icons. Like, obviously the name is Halloween, but
yeah, no, I know the slasher icons, which would be like
Yeah.
Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, Michael Myers, like that whole gang. Some people count Chucky in there, you know?
it's a mask of William Shatner. It's
That's
so
been spray painted white.
it's so strange. But it works. It's creepy.
It definitely works.
I mean, yeah. Holy crap.
Well, in Halloween 4, there is a character, and it is played Kelly Meeker, and it is played by Kathleen Kinmont. And we were lucky enough to talk to her. Well, unfortunately, you weren't there, but I was lucky enough to talk to her, and we want to show you guys the interview right now.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. So get ready for the interview. We just have a real quick ad first, and then we're going to jump right in. Let's do this.
Calling all comic fans, it's time to feed your brain at Green Brain Comics, where the freshest new issues, graphic novels, and manga hit the shelves every week. Whether you're looking for the hottest new series or the latest small press sensation, we've got it all. Every genre for every age, Green Brain Comics is your one-stop shop for all things graphic storytelling. Got questions? Our friendly staff knows their stuff. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the world of comics, we've got recommendations that'll keep you coming back for more. And don't forget to check out our special events. Green Brain Comics is not just a store, it's a community. Located in East Downtown Dearborn, we are at Green Brain Comics on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Shop online at greenbraincomics.com, and remember to feed your brain at Green Brain Comics.
Hey guys, so I'm happy to be sitting here with Kathleen Kinmont, who of course played Kelly Meeker in Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. She also played Gloria in Bride of the Reanimator, which of course was the bride of the Reanimator, and Cheyenne Phillips in Renegade, the TV show. And most recently, I shouldn't say most recently, but recently you could also see her play Brenda in Black Mass from 2023, and that of course is directed by Devaney Penn. So, thank you so much for being on the show.
Well, thank you for having me, Joe. It's nice to see you again. We did a really fun little short years ago with some really fun people. And yeah, it's nice to have a reunion.
Thank you. Yeah, we were actually able to work together twice. You did my thesis film, Bunkmates. I remember that was a fun time because I told you I wanted you to be like our Easter egg, and you came on set like, okay, where's my costume? I'm ready to dress like an Easter egg. And
so down to be an Easter egg. I've been a tree, I've been a rock. I'll be an Easter egg too. I'll do anything. That's like film school roots, right? Where you got to walk around like a chicken. And, I thought, oh, well, I've done the flapping of my arms and, the bobbing of the head like a chicken. And like, it makes perfect sense that, now you play an Easter egg.
Exactly. Think of it as like one of those acting exercises they make you do in the improv game, if you will.
Yes, but you enlightened me that an Easter egg is one of those people that is somewhat recognizable that you see in a film and they don't get credited or something. That's like a surprise. It's like a gift.
A great little cameo, if you will.
Yes, I love it. And it was so much fun.
It really was. But what we're here today, because this is our Halloween episode, I would love to hear about some of your time playing Kelly Meeker. What was it like when you got the call to know you were actually going to be able to be in a Halloween film?
Well, of course, it's exciting to be part of any franchise. And it's because it already feels like you have a built-in audience and that it's going to make it into the theater and that there's some anticipation for it because of that reason. Everybody knows it and the story. And personally, I'm still kind of I'm pretty much of a wimp when it comes to horror films, watching horror films. So I had never really seen Halloween. I just knew that it was a big movie and Jamie Lee Curtis was in the first one. And I thought, oh, that's cool, but I hadn't done anything frightening at that point. But it was like, there were some moments that were pretty spooky on set. And but to answer your question, it was super thrilling to be asked to play the part. And I loved that Kelly Meeker was like the bad girl. And, that's, it's not really my nature to be that person. So it was really exciting to get to have that opportunity to be that boyfriend stealing bitch that really didn't care about anybody else but herself. So that part was neat. And then when I got to set, well, it wasn't actually even at the set, it was at the hotel when I was checking in. I saw this guy at the desk and I'm like, I recognized the back of his head. I knew Sasha. We went to high school together. So that was, I was like, what are you doing here? He's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm making a movie. He goes, me too. I'm like, what movie? So I found out it's the same movie. I'm like, holy shit, are you going to be playing Brady? And he's like, yeah, you Kelly. I'm like, oh my God. So of course we had to practice a little bit to make it comfortable when it got on set. So that was his idea, and I thought that was cool. So we made out in his hotel room a little bit. I mean, nothing else ever happened, but what it was like, let's get to this place where, because we didn't have, what they have now is intimacy choreographers, intimacy directors that come on to set that actually help the actors find that safe place and that sweet spot where you can both know what you're going to be doing and also make it spontaneous and have parameters and talk about it. So it was good because I knew there wasn't any nudity involved, although we wanted to get it to that place of like, whoa, like you felt like you saw something.
Yeah, you're about to reveal and then they cut to your back.
Correct. Right. Well, but to get to that place, you have to feel, well, really safe and trusting your partner and trusting the environment. And so I was a little nervous about it, but Sasha was a friend. So, and we were never boyfriend, girlfriend. We never had that much intimacy, but it was a really interesting moment of two young actors doing their best to bring their best as how much we knew at that time, which was very little. We were all pretty green. Danielle, of course, was really young, 10 years old. And Ellie too, she was really young. None of us had a big resume at that point in our life. And but we really protected each other. I think that was really key in what made that film such a success, is that you can see the relationships feel real. And they were. We all bonded very quickly. We did a lot of swimming after work hours, and they had an indoor swimming pool at the hotel in Utah where we filmed. And I think that was very bonding. It allowed us to play and wash off the day in a way together, and do cannonballs and Marco Polo and just be kids, really, because we were all like 19 and under. So it wasn't like we weren't hitting the bar afterward, but we were, going, doing shots in the pool. But, Dwight Little, who was the director, really had a huge play in that, and that he handpicked some really cool people. And I think when we were around Donald Pleasance, we all felt the awareness and the existence of like a very trained actor, and we all kind of talked to him individually about stuff.
Because he was a legacy at that point in the franchise. I mean, he played Loomis in several films. The first two.
Correct.
And this was, so essentially the third as far as Michael Myers is concerned.
Right. He came back to be in our film, which gave it so much gravitas, and it brought everybody's level up, because it wasn't just us completing an idea from a film. It was like the actor that was really a real actor too. I mean, I'm sure Jamie Lee Curtis felt that too when she got to work with him or be around him, that this is a, Shakespearean trained, legitimate British actor that has done, things other than this that are powerful. And I don't know, you just kind of go, woo, there's the actor, dude. And everyone's like, I'm so glad I know my lines today.
A little bit of a moment of, wow, we've really made it. We're making a movie.
Right. That always brings everybody's level up when there's somebody that walks into a room where people respect. It doesn't matter where you are, what kind of job you have. When you have someone that, has earned that respect, it's a beautiful thing. And it's great when we all give that the importance that it deserves. That was a really fun part of it. That was great. The prop guy, Bucky, was so cool. I don't know if you remember that guy that gets electrocuted.
Yeah, the power plant.
Right, at the power plant, and on the front of his helmet says Bucky, because everybody puts the little tape across the helmet and puts their name on it, because it's like, that's my construction. Yeah. He was just like one of those really fun characters that was just great with all the kids, and props are so vital in movies like this, and you're dealing with knives and shotguns and
Especially you with the shotgun.
correct. Yeah. Even that tray with the coffee and it was hot. And, I had to be scared and it's kind of shaking in my hand just a little bit, but things like that. It's really great when you have crew members that really, support young actors and give them all the confidence they need with those things that they're going to have to be using in the show. And I just remember that guy was really cool. Bucky. I was so excited to see that he put his name on that hat.
Well, if you're going to be in the one scene.
Because I didn't have a character name. When you think about it, that movie Castaway with Forrest Gump, with Tom Hanks,
Yeah.
The Wilson ball, that was created by the prop guy. I mean, he really made that thing come alive. Yeah. Props to the props department.
Yeah, everybody works on a film, but the props department, it is so integral. I can't tell you how many times in film school it would be overlooked by one of my fellow classmates, and suddenly we're on set and no one has the pitcher of water or whatever it might be.
Yes, in fact, in a really well-written script, they capitalize all those props so that it's not mistaken and that it's not discarded or forgotten, because everything that you ever see on screen should be well thought out and there for a reason. Even if it's in the BG, it really should matters, because it's got to make sense. And we've seen props go wrong, and that's a real devastating. Those people that are in charge of those things have a real responsibility to the people that are anywhere within the area for that, including cars and all that kind of stuff. Those are a weapon also. So
yeah.
Anyway, I really just appreciate when people are super specific, for one, and safe.
Which actually, I'd love to talk a little bit more about that. So your character, when you were actually killed on screen, the character, spoiler for anybody who didn't see the movie from 1988, you get impaled by a shotgun and pinned to the wall. Very fun slasher death. So when that happened, tell us a little bit about how they went about that. Like when you have, for instance, the safety meeting when it came to the gun, or the stunt person telling you the right way to hit the wall. Was there any prosthetics involved? Things like that.
That's such a great question. And I do get asked about that a lot, because it was completely practical. We were using CGI in those days, obviously, and it was a real rig that they created for me. So what they did, because my feet were dangling, right? Because I get impaled with a riot gun through my chest and left hanging there on the door. So how they did it was they rigged a bicycle seat onto the door, which I sat on. I had a harness around my body, like a regular step-in harness. So, and that went through they put a hole in the back of my shirt where they put a wire, and then they drilled a hole in the door where the wire went through. So I had a stunt person on the other side of the door, and Michael Myers, that was played by the fabulous
George Wilbur.
Yes, Wilbur, yes. And he was so sweet and so gentle, and God rest his soul, he's not with us anymore, but he was so kind. So he was a stuntman as well, so he knew all about timing, and it was all in one take, really. I mean, it was all one move. So he kind of hits me with it, and it's like already there on me, but I'm down, and I just kind of like whoosh, get slung back by the wire that's on the back of my harness. So they're really kind of pulling me.
Sure.
While I'm sitting on the bicycle seat. The only thing that, of course, that's uncomfortable, because you're not having anything to
you hit your head? Did you get whiplash? Like,
Yeah, I was kind of squeezing with my inner thighs. Fortunately, I'm an equestrian, so and I rode bareback quite a bit, so I did know how to like squeeze. So I wasn't just completely resting on my yoo-haw, but I was kind of like lifted up and squeezing, and it was really about the being pulled and not hitting my head on the door because they didn't have anything on the back of my head because the door was clean. My hair was kind of teased a little bit, that kind of, but there wasn't any padding back there. So it was really about trying to just use my shoulders. So that was, it wasn't like flinging my head back. It was more like bracing myself with my back. And I'm mostly kind of hit with my hands. That was what was really kind of taking the brunt of it, I think, a little bit. But we did it for about 3 or 4 times. I was on that seat for about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. I wasn't up there too long. Let me put it that way. And they got it, and I came down and they unharnessed me, and that was the only time where I felt really like my kidneys just filled up with water
sure.
because I was so cut off with the circulation for that length of time. And I just remember like everything going back into my intestines, just going, wow, that was something. I was a little uncomfortable. I cramped for about 2 minutes, but then I was fine,
Just part of the job.
Hey, it beats actually getting impaled on a door.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I'll tell you that house was spooky though. That house had a little bit of a heebie-jeebie going through it. It was a little spook factor.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really beautiful old craftsman house in this where were we? Provo? Somewhere in Utah. And just everything was at that time of the year where there were no leaves on the trees and you could see the branches through the stained glass. Just, and they just lit it and they fogged it up. So there was a couple times where I wanted to walk through it just by myself when everybody was outside at lunch and just kind of feel the vibe and feel the loneliness of it.
Sure.
Right? When the house feels lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially if you're really kind of conjuring up scary shit. I mean, I don't know about you, but sometimes after I watch something really scary, it's hard to be in your house alone because you still have that essence on you. So,
Yeah, I got to turn on all the lights and play some happy music or something.
right, burn some sage, light some candles. Invite a friend over. Yeah.
I imagine it might actually be tough as an actress because you have to be so immersed in the character and in the atmosphere to give the believable performance that you did on screen. You have to live in that, being that wound tight for a week on end, 2 weeks on end, whatever your shooting process is, got to be taxing.
Yeah, you tap into that place, but you have to have that place that you can tap into it. So that's why it is good to sit in places quietly and get away from the hubbub of the crew because they're not doing that. What they're doing is lighting it, getting the sound ready. Somebody's doing craft service. Somebody's looking at the script. They're not in that zone. So sometimes you can get distracted by what other people are doing, right? Or you get distracted in a conversation that has nothing to do with why you're there today. So the one thing my mom always told me was conserve your energy. Because the natural response when you get onto a set like that is, A, you're excited you have a job. You're like, yay, woohoo, first day of school, but you probably should know everything that you need to know that day. You're not there to learn, you're there to perform. If that's what it is, and hold on to all that energy, all that bubbly champagne you want to be popping because you're on a set and you're so stoked, but you also have to be like, okay, well, that's that. And this is why I'm here. I'm here to act really well, to do the best I can do. So what does that look like? What is this? And it's hard because there's a lot of distractions on set. You're like, what's for lunch?
Yeah, 12 to 16-hour days sometimes. I mean, well, 12 always.
Sure.
16 sometimes.
Yeah, and I mean, there's another thing about conserving your energy is you can't stay in that kind of thing all the time for the whole day. You'll get stale. You'll spend it.
Sure.
You can, I mean, but you can be alone. You can definitely find your quiet times and rest. And, I mean, it is fun to have people come and visit the set and stuff because everybody wants to see what it looks like, and that's cool. But I gotta tell you, like when I worked during COVID and there was nobody allowed ever on set, you don't have visitors. I was like, oh man, I feel like I'm on location and I was working in LA and nobody's going like, hey, can I come down and watch? And they're like,
No unnecessary contact. Everyone wearing masks.
we had to get tested every day too. Yeah.
My wife did a few jobs as a COVID compliance officer, and it was quite a thing every day to see hundreds of people all getting tested.
Yeah, it was really quite the racket, but thankfully we're all still here, so maybe it worked.
I wanted to ask, so post Halloween, have you been embraced by the fandom? Like, I mean, as a Scream Queen, how is it? How are the Halloween fans? What would you have some good interaction, some story? I'd love to hear.
I think the greatest part about being in a movie that was made 40 years ago and still around to talk about it is that people introduce it to their kids. And I think those are the coolest interactions. I mean, listen, I love all the fans. Fans are awesome. That's our bread and butter. I mean, fans are the ones that, you really want to keep going for because they loved you in this. Maybe they'll love me in this too. And I just, it's like, I guess like the funniest part is like a guy that comes up with his son who's like, oh my God, I don't take this the wrong way or anything, but you in the movie, it was like, lost my, rite of passage or something. Like I lost my innocence in that movie. Like I thought about that movie a lot. Now my son loves the movie and I'm like, oh, great. It is. It's a sexy Dixon part. And I think it's very, very cute that it's like a lot of gay guys have come up to me and been like, you know what? You were the only girl I've ever had a crush on.
Well, that's got to be flattering.
Super flattering. Super flattering. Yeah, and women, and I sell the T-shirt at the conventions and stuff, and girls love buying the T-shirt, and they're like, "We're gonna do some cosplay this Halloween." I'm like, "Yes, you are, girl. Brady, are you coming in or what?"
Well, it's a very iconic image from that film. Is you leaning against the door in just the shirt, and I assume underwear, but yes,
it was a very thin. Yeah, it was underwear adjacent, I think.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's just so brazen. And yeah, I do sign that particular frame. We locked that picture frame, and it's so perfect because there's a brick wall right next to me, and I always sign it to whoever's getting that picture. Like, what's your name? He's like, John. I'm like, John, are you coming in or what? I get to write it along the brick wall. It just totally looks like graffiti and just perfect. So yeah, it's a beautiful frame. The DP was great on that show, on that film. I thought that starting with the main titles, Dwight, his visuals, his imagery, and everything that the camera department captured really got you into that season. He created that atmosphere that unlocks an emotional vibration for all of us, knowing what Halloween is like in this country. It's cornfields and harvest, pumpkins, stark trees and ghosts and skeletons and witches and all of that, like it's like a Salem witch hunt, right? It kind of has that spooky dusk, the sun's going down, the sky looks ombre. It's really, he created the mood.
He did.
From the very top of the film, and I think that it delivered because he had that vision of what Halloween was really about, and it's a very innocent time for a lot of us, going out into the nighttime with our parents, hoping to get candy and be careful, look for razor blades and apples. The scary weirdo that gives shit at the end of the block. I don't know what it was like for you, but
I don't know if that was real or if that was just a myth from the 70s. I'm not sure.
Whatever. We all bought into it. We all heard about it, right?
Yeah, they checked my candy.
Right. Don't eat popcorn balls. They've got drugs in them or something. It's a very weird holiday. We're going to take all of our super young, innocent kids, dress them up like little ghouls, have them go from door to door and watch them go and, no, we're going to stand here on the sidewalk and watch you go ring on a rando's doorbell.
We have to popularize begging. It's fine.
It's a weird holiday. I've never really quite got the whole gist of it. I guess it's fun. It's fun to feel we can look at scary stuff and go, ha ha, I'm in a costume. You can't hurt me. I can get candy from you. And I'm basically ding dong ditching and getting a treat at the end of it, right? Because you don't stick around and talk to these people. You're just like, ding dong, trick or treat, give me candy, bye. Oh, look at that cute costume. I mean, it's adorable. It's adorable and spooky at the same time.
I think a lot of it has to do with facing your fears. The character of Batman dresses like Batman because he's afraid of bats. So for some kids, perhaps it's dressing like the killer, Michael Myers, if you will, because he freaked you out as a kid. And it gives you back the power when you can be that scary thing, as opposed to a young child where the world is just scary because you have so little control.
100%. Yes, Dr. Wakefield. How much will that be?
Right. Speaking of the spooky season, what doesn't have to be a Michael Myers film, your favorite movie to watch on Halloween?
Ghost.
Ghost? Demi Moore? All right. Patrick Swayze? Hey, it counts.
It counts, right? Does that count as it's like a spooky rom-com?
It totally counts.
It's a rom-com because it's got Whoopi Goldberg in there and she's pretty funny.
She is funny, but I think that film would probably fall under dramatic, to be honest.
Drama. Okay. Well, I like Jack Skellington.
Ooh, that's a good one. Nightmare Before Christmas, a very good classic.
Yeah. Yes. Is that a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie?
That is a debate that has been raging since the film came out. Personally, I go with Halloween because there's more Halloween imagery. So,
Well, let's see. What scares me the most, I gotta say, is crime dramas.
Really?
Yeah, but they always have a good ending because they always bust the person.
Sure.
I mean, like forensic, all that kind of stuff that comes into play where people just don't get away with shit anymore at all. And we've got enough cameras and videos that get leaked, P. Diddy. There's enough shit. Like, if people can't stop filming themselves.
It's true. You're going to film your own crime spree and be caught very easily.
Or you're going to do it and not realize that there were 20 different Ring cameras from all over the place, and street cameras and cameras on people's dashboards and drones. And, you just don't know how many times you're even being filmed a day.
That's something the new Halloween films definitely didn't tap into. You're right. Why did 81 record Michael Myers in their film? Like one person.
Right.
Come on.
One person. Yeah. I got so screwed up by The Exorcist when I was a kid that if I start to feel that kind of panicky vibe, I just go, nope, next, Dateline.
Different show.
In Bride of Reanimator, I get to rip my own heart out of my chest. I feel like I've gone the distance already on goop and gore, and working with brilliant artists like K&B and all those guys, Howard Berger, Rick Kurtzman, and Bob Nicotero. Is that right? No, Greg Nicotero, Howard Berger, and Bob Kurtzman. It's like Larry, Moe, and Curly. The three amazing stooges. But yeah, these guys were, that movie was the standard by which I measure everything in my career, truly. The Bride of Reanimator was arduous and so much patience that I had to dig very deep for. But then, after the first few days, and I had full 24-hour turnarounds, so I didn't even work consecutive days because my body was so thrashed after one day. It took a minute for it to kind of recover. Oh, well, I had a full bodysuit with one arm missing and one leg missing, and those missing body parts, they marbled with makeup. But, I'm in a bodysuit like all day long. And it's, that they did to my hair and then all up into my neck and my face. And that's a 8-hour makeup job, 6 to 8 hour makeup job that we witnessed on screen because it wasn't CGI. at all. That was just completely practical. It's just radical what they did.
And that's before a whole workday.
Correct. Yeah, I would get there at 3 o'clock in the morning and step on set at like 9 or 10. And they would not stop touching me all day long, constantly touching up. I had 3 people working on me all the time. And you just surrender. That's what I did. There's a really great slogan that me and my girlfriend came up with when shit is so exhausting. This is what we say to ourselves: give up, give in, and have some fun with it. You're going to be here for a while, like you're stuck in line or you're stuck in traffic. And that light at the end of the tunnel was really just, getting on set and being able to bring all of that angst that I just got to experience, just sitting there 6 hours in makeup. It's like, what did I do to prepare? Nothing. I sat there. The preparation was happening to me. They say that an actor really becomes the character when they put on their wardrobe, right? The wardrobe is so vital. Like, oh, I'm playing a period piece and you start with the underwear. Quite honestly, for women, you put on that corset or you put on whatever that is like, that's part of that period. You're like, oh God, now I'm in the character. Wow. Hello. And so I had 6 to 8 hours of character preparation every morning where I didn't have a lot of dialogue. It was really just so physical and emotional. That vulnerability that the character had that I was experiencing because of what I was going through every day. So it really didn't take much. I mean, I really credit K&B for creating the character. What I did is I just brought the spirit of the character to the set. Yeah. So in that was like, just going to massive film school and get a paycheck. Now I get to sign all these great photos of me just like, just completely coming unglued.
You're a horror icon.
That's so nice. I can't believe that. It's so funny.
That image of you ripping out your heart is everywhere as far as that film is concerned. I mean, they used it for marketing, but not just that. People, like you said, have put it on T-shirts, posters. You even signed a photo for me of that particular image.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. Yes, I've seen it. They've made sculptures, different artists, and people have brought me things that fans have made, and other vendors. A lot of people have been highly inspired by the Reanimator series, which was also a franchise, which was so exciting to be a part of, and to work with Jeffrey Combs and Bruce Abbott, and Brian Usna was the director, and we all had a great time and got along. And I had previously done a movie with Barbara Crampton, who was in the first one, Fraternity Vacation. So I kind of felt like, but I see, of course, once again, I had not seen Reanimator. Like, I hadn't seen any of the Halloween films, and I would just like, okay, cool. I get to play like Bride of Frankenstein, neato. And I knew just what was in the script, and I was like, I was cool with it. And I was married to Lorenzo Lamas at the time, the actor from Renegade. And he was like, well, why don't you ask them to get a VHS of the first one? I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I can see what these guys are like. I mean, like, I had signed the deal. It was already a done deal. I watched that first one. I was like, holy shit.
What did I get myself into?
Oh my God, 100%. I was like, okay, I don't think I get what. And it was like, well, I'm doing my thing. She did her thing and she did it great. And it was just like, oh, these guys are awesome. It's like horror light because, Jeffrey's hilarious.
Yeah.
And so is Bruce. And they're both marvelous, excellent actors, and they've both been, classically trained and have such range. But because you're playing it real, but the whole concept is just, it's ridiculous, right?
Yeah, a bit over the top. Well, I mean, it stems from H.P. Lovecraft, so of course it's very dark, but you're right. There was a levity to it all, a bit of fun. I mean, if you don't take it too seriously and just go along for the ride.
And I think there's another iconic picture. I'm just going to use your word because I do see this one photo of me all the time. And it's like when I'm holding my heart out after I've like done like the very massive angry pull of it out of my chest. It's like, is this what you want? And I'm just like holding it like, because there's still they're still running film, and I've got to like have this like maniacal thing on my face where I start to disassemble. All I could think when that was going on, and I'm sitting on those slats of wood on my knees, and I'm like, my knees hurt so bad, and all the blood's cutting off, and I'm like, I sure hope they play Patsy Cline's "I Fall to Pieces" over this moment. I love it when they play like completely different music over something. It just makes it so funny. So I was kind of thinking about that. I was like, kind of like, oh my God, I'm like going nuts. But it's all, it wasn't hard to find those feelings in that moment. The blood coming out of my eyes, and my hair was like a freaking rat's nest every day. That took about 2 hours to clean out and unmat. And God, my skin looked like Karen Silkwood after an acid bath. It was radical.
Well, since now that you've put it out there, someone will put together a clip with that song, "I Fall to Pieces." I guarantee it. You put it out in the universe. Fans do fun and weird things. In fact, what is the weirdest thing a fan has ever asked you to sign?
Their body.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And they go and get it tattooed. I've done that a few times. I always think like, oh gosh, but I'm not the only one. People that have done this, they have other people's signatures on them. So it's not like, oh, are you sure you want this? But yeah.
Maybe if you were the first one.
If I was the first one on somebody's body, I would be pretty hesitant to do it. I'd be like, dude, you really need to rethink this because.
Well, maybe they're trying to collect everybody from that respective franchise. You know what I mean? If it was a Bride of Reanimator, like all along their back, we got Greg Nicotero, we got everybody just signing this dude's back, then you got to do it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, I agree. It's like you're already a piece of graffiti. So let's just, I will add my signature to the mix. So, but yeah, I signed some dude's head.
Really? Where?
On his skull, like somewhere, he had a shaved head and he had all these signatures all over his head. That was his thing.
Wow.
Yeah. I signed somebody's like chest. And I don't sign people's butts or anything. I won't do that. And I don't sign any nudes either. So that's because those are all screen grabs. And I've never done any Playboy material or anything. I did a lingerie thing with Lorenzo. They were doing a Valentine's thing with couples, celebrity couples. So, but fully clothed. It's just, I don't know. I'm not a prude, but I just feel like I'd rather, I signed up for those movies to play the character, not to be exploited.
Sure.
And I think that there is, the 90s were really at the height of objectification. And I just read an article today about how, way more guys now are doing, frontal nudity, big actors. And they're really giving the chicks a run for their money, I gotta say.
Hey, fair's fair, man. I mean, there needs to be something for everybody in a movie, all right? And what comes to mind is Jason Segel did it in a comedy with
Getting Sarah Marshall. Oh yeah. And you know what? We didn't forget about him.
Yeah, so there you go. Something for the ladies. Why not? Maybe you could do the next slasher if you get an opportunity. You could do one where we'll just objectify the men. I'll tell you what, I'll write it and we'll talk.
I'm 100% down for that. I think, yeah, like it's good to share the screen time and share the experience of what it's like. And trust me, people are screenshotting those images and they're all over the internet. And that's what happens. because that's the day and age we live in. And if you think you can try and get rid of it, you might as well go buy, stock and whack-a-mole. They just pop up again. You take one thing down and three more pop up over there. So it's really a lesson in futility to try and control it. You can't. Anything that has been filmed and put out there is, you've got to have a lot of responsibility to what you allow people to photograph, your control of that. So, because I never allowed screenshots of any nudity that I've done on film, when fans bring stuff like that to my table or send them to me in the mail, I just toss it. I'm like, oh, that's cute. Rip.
Well, you got to be a fan of the film and the franchise, not just eye candy. Otherwise, you're not there for the right reasons.
It just comes down to like, look, we know why us females are brought into the mix. We know we're there for the sex appeal. We know we're there to be rescued by a guy. Okay, that's kind of a lot of the storyline in back in the day. I'm talking about before. Like now, thankfully, we're given more power roles, more, they used to say like, chicks don't sell films. Chicks aren't funny. I don't know. Jean Smart is a friend of mine, and she's like, in her 70s and crushing it, and just hosted SNL and crushed it, and doing things that are like, female driven, that cover so much territory for so many diverse groups. And that's a beautiful thing. And I think that it really comes down to respect. I just think that it's great that everybody gets to see themselves on film. I love the diverse thing that's happening. I don't think that it's all one way. Fall Guy, for instance, the really wonderful new film with Emily Blunt and Ken from Barbie. What's his name again?
I like Ken from Barbie.
Ryan Gosling.
You mean Simu Liu, the other Ken?
I liked Michael Cera in Barbie so much.
Oh,
Alan.
Yeah, Alan.
He was just always by himself. It was just a single frame of just Alan.
Apparently, Alan was real. They made one doll of Alan.
Oh, yeah. Nobody ever really played with Alan. But Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, like there's a moment in Fall Guy, and I hope I'm not wrecking it for anybody, but he sings a Taylor Swift song, and it is so fucking funny. We do need to flip the part. Like let's see the guy kind of more needing to be rescued by the girl. I mean, women being able to come in and save the freaking day.
If the final girl is a thing, it's usually the girl who takes down the crazy killer. I will say that is a traditional thing. So I'm all for strong women, because if it wasn't, we would never actually get a climax to these films. They have to take out the killer.
Yeah, right. But we didn't take out Michael Myers.
A couple times, depending on the timeline we're referring to.
He still seems to be really alive and kicking.
Yeah, you know why? There's no problem with the rights issue. That's why you don't see any of Friday the 13th lately.
Oh, okay. So okay. My friend Darcy was in that one. You should talk to her too. I should hook you up with Darcy DeMoss. She's great.
That would be wonderful. I would love to do that. Do you have anything you would like to promote?
Yes, I do. I love Phoenix, which is now on Vizio. It's watch-free Vizio. If you have a Vizio TV, it's really easy to watch it there. Unfortunately, it's a little complicated to get to right now, but it will make it to Roku, and then it will make it to Hulu. So it has a destiny path. But look for Phoenix. It's a female female-driven espionage, human trafficking, biochemical warfare. It's really cool. And I play a baddie. I'll just call it that. I don't want to give it away like what I actually do, but I'm like,
Rebecca Stout.
Yes, Rebecca Stout. Yes, she's very strong. She's a mom, so she's a badass.
Most moms are.
Right. And when you're put in a position of power and you have a kid, and that's like the first place people go to leverage to knock you out of your strength. So that's why I am the way I am, because I'm a mama bear. You could rationalize anything, really. So that's exciting. I've got a movie with Kristana Loken that's at the film festivals right now called Vice and Virtue. That's really cool and gonna get some distribution soon. So once that finds its distribution, you'll be able to find it. I don't know what's gonna be yet, but I've got two other movies, Horntack, that's going to be coming out. That's a really cool horror genre, and that's got a really cool cast.
Horntax, that sounds interesting. You play Natalie in that one?
Yes,
Wow.
yes, another mom, another super fierce mom, like a super badass action mom. Actually, I get to do some fun action stuff. I have a crossbow and everything. It's pretty bitchin'.
That is pretty bitchin', I will say.
Yeah, I've never fired a crossbow before, and I got to in this, which is just like, it's really might as well be a gun.
Sure.
You know.
Did they give you any training, or were they just like,
oh yeah, oh no, you have to have that.
It's like, it's fine, point it away from us.
On set, they hand this to you, and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, no, and it was real. And no, I fired into a few hay bales. It's literally just like, and it's just, you can feel the power coming out of it. Like you want to jerk back like it's a gun, but it really is just so smooth. And they're for deer hunting, right? So
yeah.
So it's about stealth. Yeah, the quiet murder is a crossbow for sure.
Well, my understanding is the crossbow is the reason why Attila the Hun was able to take over half of the world.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. So that's exciting. And then there's another one called Bird's Eye Witness. Eric Roberts plays my dad.
Nice.
They do some CGI to my face to make me look younger because we're only like 6 years apart or something. But what's so cool is that I had just seen him in Babylon, where he plays Margot Robbie's dad. That part was great. But yeah, that was a bucket list. Because, I mean, come on, Eric Roberts. He's a lot like Kevin Bacon. Like he's 1 degree away from everybody.
Yeah, he has quite a list.
And he's done like 800 titles or something.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just ridiculous. Like, how does a human work that much? But he's done it.
I mean, you must love what you do.
So that's cool. That's a crazy ass film. I don't even know how to describe this film. My character inherits a mortuary from what I grew up in. Actually, my dad ran this mortuary, and I grew up in it. And my husband takes it over from my dad, who dies. Am I giving shit away? Anyway, he takes it over, and now I run a nursing home, and the people, I'm taking such good care of them, nobody's dying. So his mortuary that he inherited from my dad is tanking, so he starts killing my elderly people.
Yeah. Well, and that's Bird's Eye Witness?
Yeah, that's Bird's Eye Witness. Yeah, it's really cool. So I'm excited to see that too. That's going to be fun. And then I have this other series called The Boulevard, where I play the owner of a publicity house. My character is Persephone Reed. She is the ex-wife to like a disgraced producer. Like I just think of Harvey Weinstein and just kind of throw up in the back of my face. So like someone like that. And I just want to distance myself so severely from him that I create my own empire. And I am like the press agent to the stars. But I'm, got a chip on my shoulder because I'm trying to get rid of his stain off my back. But I'm also dealing with, high-end celebrity egos that get into a lot of trouble and that I have to cover. There's just no relief for this character. Like she can't get away from her past, and everything in her present and future just looks like a holy fucking shit pile. So that's a really fun character too.
Just trying to tame the dumpster fire, which is people's personal lives.
Correct. They're all dumpster fires too. That's a really great way to put it. Everyone's a hot mess. And the cast is really great. I love the cast. Oh, and Devaney Pinn is directing that too. So Devaney Pinn, who hired me for The Black Mass, which is the story of which serial killer. I always get these serial killers mixed up.
I always say we got Ed Gein, we got Ted Bundy, we got Jeffrey Dahmer.
Dahmer? No, it's Ted Bundy. It's Ted Bundy, right? I thought it was a movie about Jeffrey Dahmer, and then I got on set and I found out it was about Ted Bundy instead. So it's the horrific moment where he goes into the sorority house and kills 6 people, I believe, with a frickin' piece of wood, that he grabbed from the wood pile. I mean, I literally was watching, I was at the screening and I had my hands covered over my face because, in real life I am a mom and it's too much. And that's why I say, like, Dateline, the shit that has really happened affects me way more than going and watching a movie about vampires or The Walking Dead or, shit that is a possibility, like The Exorcist, where people actually have demons come into them, I guess. I have never seen that happen, nor do I want to, nor do I want to conjure up any of that while I'm trying to go to sleep.
Yeah, and maybe not mess with the Ouija board just in case.
Correct. I don't play with that. I don't do any of that stuff.
But as far as this show is concerned, I wanted to thank you so much for being here and being a part of this. I've made this the best Halloween episode we've ever done. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, Joe. You're so sweet. Thank you. I'm so glad that we got to see each other again, and give Lizzie my love too. You guys are great.
Thank you so much. And so from all of us here at Earthling Entertainment,
happy Halloween.
Dude, that was a great interview. Good job, man. And she was amazing.
Yeah, she was so nice.
Dude,
I loved it. I got to work
excellent.
with her a few times. We did a few shorts when I was in LA. So this was it was a nice little reunion.
Cool. That was fantastic, man. Happy Halloween indeed.
I know. Speaking of that, are you trick-or-treating?
I
mean, obviously not you.
Are
you taking your kids trick-or-treating?
I actually get to go this year.
Nice. Because
So
I assume work got in the way last time.
I always had to work. I think I've literally gotten to go trick-or-treating, like, actually on Halloween with my kids, I think twice.
Wow.
That's it.
I'm excited because this is the first year I get to go with my kid. He's like, he's just under 2. So he's going to go to like 2 houses and get like a candy and get excited before we're done. But it's going to be nice.
And the excitement that when a kid realizes, wait a minute, so everybody's just going to give me candy?
Yeah. Like,
Good luck stopping them.
No, hold the phone.
Once those 2 wires are connected, like, you know what I mean?
I don't know if he's ever had any kind of candy. I mean, don't misunderstand. He's had chocolate because we gave him like chocolate pudding once, and he's had cake on his birthday. But I don't know if he's ever actually had any kind of candy.
I know he's gonna love it. I remember we literally got a picture of my oldest when he was just a baby, like, about the same age, doing his first trick or treating, and he was so stoked. He's like, I get candy, like, holy shit, and so he's going door to door. And we got to one house where they didn't have their light on and they weren't answering, and he didn't understand. And we got like a picture of him pointing back. He's pointing back, like, angry, yelling like at us, like, they're not doing it.
Like, that family dropped the ball, father.
We have that photo somewhere, yeah. And it's like, that's like one of my favorite like trick or treating memories, is that where he's like, these people aren't doing it.
It's like that very memeable picture of that little girl looking as there's a fire in the background. That is exactly what happened.
I'm just saying, maybe that's the origin story of Sam from Trick or Treat.
It could just be because I'm not by the way, Sam Trick or Treat, good call.
Hell yeah.
That is my favorite Halloween movie, probably. Halloween themed film. But
yes.
Anyways, I don't know if you've noticed this. This is just my opinion, but do people trick or treat less now than they did when we were kids? Are there less people going out and trick or treating?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it can be attributed to trunk or treats. And I remember I used to hate them so much before I had kids, because I was like, you're ruining Halloween, like, because everybody would trunk or treat and then no one would go out.
Okay, so trunk or treat would be like the big group of like church group or whatever, where they have a parking lot and a bunch of cars and people trick or treat there.
Yeah. And literally it's like it happens like there's one like every Friday, every Saturday, every Sunday, like leading up to Halloween, every weekend in October. And I think a lot of people, that's their version now, because they have their knit community that they trust. And, it's just different now. It's not like it when we were kids, man.
I don't like that. It bothers me.
It bothers me
It
too.
it's kind of like all right, so I took a hard stand. So when we were kids and we were playing beer pong, we used real beer.
That's right.
And then there was the next generation right below us where started using cups of water because it was more sanitary, and then they would just sip their beer.
That was the point. It's like you're supposed to get a bit of dirt in your beer.
Well, also there's a big difference between chugging a beer versus taking a sip of whatever drink you have.
That's true. And yeah, it was part of the game. You know,
I don't know.
mean?
It
Yeah.
really bothered me. This may seem a little off topic, but if you play beer pong with water and you're not like in a bar setting where that is like the rule they have to follow, if you are at a house party and you are playing, by the way, if you're in your 30s and you're at a house party playing beer pong, maybe examine some things. But I'm just saying, if you're younger and you're playing beer pong and you're using water, for shame.
Yeah.
For shame on
Well,
you.
I mean, and that's why you have the rinse cup.
Yes,
You dunk it in
thank
the rinse
you.
cup. If the rinse cup gets a little bit too full of debris, you
Yeah.
pour it out and you refill it.
See, I like that sweet spot of beer pong. That's like post calling it Barat or what is it, Barate, whatever.
I have no
The
idea.
original version of it. And where there was just two cups and there was no bounce rule, or the new version where it's water because you guys are like, Santa." What were we
Well,
originally talking about?
We were
Halloween.
I guess,
Trick-or-treating.
Halloween,
All
trick-or-treating.
right.
So,
Well, anyways,
but yeah,
I
this game,
think hold on.
Yeah.
I think you should actually trick or treat at the houses, and I attribute doing trunk or treat and not trick or treating normally as using water for beer pong as opposed to using beer. Boom.
right?
That's why we were talking about it.
Indeed.
Nailed it. All right,
And-
go ahead.
And yeah, and you just don't see it, like as much, but there still are good neighborhoods. And I mean, I feel like trick or treating now is more of like a game where like you have to do a lot of driving. Like you need your parents there. It's not like when we were kids, like where most of the houses were giving out candy. Now I think most of the houses aren't. So it's like you have to know like the places in town, like, oh, well, this person decorated, so I'm gonna drive them over there. You'll hit those couple houses that are gonna give out candy.
Well,
And
you might be 100% right? But this is the perspective of us in this part of Michigan.
right.
So
This is how it is around here.
I do know that there's a lot of East Coast cities and things that like get way more into it, but I'm just saying we're in a bubble. There
Yeah,
might
we
still be
are.
Halloween flourishing somewhere.
That's true. That's true. I think like that's more of like a small town game now, or like like where everybody knows each other. But like,
Yeah, and
'cause-
by the way,
yeah.
just to comment on what you said earlier, you said there are still some safe neighborhoods to go trick or treating.
oh yeah.
I feel like part of the Halloween adventure is going to the very unsafe neighborhoods.
Well, yeah.
if you're not at least a little worried you're gonna get stabbed by that guy who looks way too enthusiastic to be dressed as Michael Myers,
That's right. That's
then
right.
it's not a real trick or treating.
No, and but no. So yeah, I'm big on trick or treating too. But now I see the point of trunk or treats, and more opportunity to bring your kid out in their costume, get some candy. Who
Well,
cares?
I'm simply saying, why not do both? Why not do all the trunk or treats? Do the the historical villages like Halloween night. Do all this stuff and
Yep.
then go trick or treating. Like you said, Halloween's on a Thursday, so a lot of people are like, oh well, we're not going out because it's a Thursday, and it's like maybe they should celebrate on the weekend. No,
No, we're not
If you-
changing the day.
well, no, it's like stupid. It's like the Simpsons always have their Halloween episode in November when they clearly can have it in October because they started a few episodes earlier because it's always like episode 3 or 4 of the season. Don't do that. No. I don't
Yeah.
care if it's a Thursday. Who cares? You got work in the morning? I'm sorry. Is your kid going to get like these memories? But nope, you want to freaking get that extra hour of sleep? Shame on you.
Yeah.
And if you yourself are trick-or-treating, God bless you. Do it until you physically get embarrassed because you're the only friend still doing it.
Did we mention the movie Tales of Halloween? That was another good one.
Tell me about it.
I don't remember all of it, but I remember that was like
All right, dead end.
no, it had like it was creepy. A lot of it was effed up. Like I remember like there was like this basically like this Hansel and Gretel house, and the woman was like quite literally like a witch, like who literally wanted to like eat kids because she couldn't have kids, and it was like really fucked up. And that
Oh.
was just one. It was kind of like Trick or Treat, where there was a bunch of stories.
I love anthology films. I really do. Tales from the Hood was not a it was not a trick or treat one, but I for some reason, really liked Tales from the Hood when I was a kid. And I think it's because, spoiler, at the very, very end, the framing device, the mortician guy turning into like Satan and like a big old horned Satan guy. And that was my favorite part. I got to be honest, it sold that movie for me.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't have a good I don't know. I like the weird niche things, which is why I usually end up writing some of the weird niche things. I like just trying to take it from a different angle.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of this week's audio drama that we did.
That's right.
Yeah, so this is our first Tattered Tales, guys, and it is going to be the fourth week, basically the fourth week of every month. We are going to have a short audio drama between 10 and 20 minutes. And our first one is starring Ryan Lang right here.
That's right. I get to play a shape-shifting creature.
Yeah, we'll go with that. And also starring my wife, Liziana Wakefield, which is awesome.
And she did a fantastic job. I didn't even recognize she did such a good job with the character that I didn't even know it was her. Until you told me.
Well, I mean, you guys, I think you'll have a big kick out of it. It's we're gonna play it right now. It's about 12 minutes, so if you really don't care, you can fast forward to 12 minutes, and that'll be about it. But I urge you not to do that because this is a fully sound effects and music and fun little original Halloween story.
Oh, this is definitely a Halloween treat for you guys. I really think you guys are gonna enjoy it.
All right, and strap in for num 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 num. I'm a house.
Oh, look. A furry little visitor has entered my domain. How unfortunate for the tasty little creature. I know what you're thinking. How is a house going to eat a cat? Easy. I'm going to suck it up my chimney. That's kind of my mouth, you see. Give me a moment. I'll explain more after my snack. Thanks. It's been ages since I've eaten. Sure, a random bird or squirrel will find his way in, but usually nothing bigger than that. Now a cat is nothing to turn your nose up to. But it isn't a human. Boy, do I love the taste of humans. Last time I had one of them was the late 70s.
Hey, sorry to bother you, man, but my car broke down and I was hoping I could use your phone.
Oh, sure. Come on in.
Thanks, mister. My name is Nathan, but all my friends call me Disco Nathan. What's your name? Hello? Hello?
No, I'm a house. I got lucky back then. I still looked good. My paint was fresh. My windows were clean. What can I say? It was the golden years. You see, the more we eat, the more maintained we look. If you keep well fed, you appear as inviting as Grandma's house. While on the contrary, if you're starved, you're lucky if you look abandoned. If not, dilapidated. If that happens, you better move on to a new neighborhood before some city official gets the great idea to try to tear you down. You gotta be shitting me.
Trick or treat.
Of course, Halloween. But still, that's one brave kid. I'm looking pretty shabby. Most people assume nobody lives here.
Okay, if nobody's home, I'm coming in.
Wait, what?
Oh, somebody is here.
That's right. Why don't you come into the den near the fireplace? I have candy for you.
No way, creep. I didn't come in here to get molested by a bum. I just have to find something to prove to the gang that I was in the supposedly haunted house.
Whoa, no.
See ya.
Hey, don't go up there. The fireplace, it's down here.
Now what can I grab to prove I was in here?
I must insist you come downstairs.
Whoa. You sound like you're standing right next to me. Do you have like speakers in the walls? Or is this like a weird reality show thing? Are you some Norman Bates H.H. Holmes psycho that likes to watch before you come in for the kill?
Good God, kid, what's the matter with you?
I know the bathroom. I gotta be able to rip off a faucet or something. Well, the water shut off, which means I was right. You're just some creepy squatter. Which, in turn, means I can do whatever I want here. You don't have any more claim over this place than me.
Well, actually...
It's a good thing I brought this hammer.
Wait, what? Ow! Air!
Hold on. You can feel that?
Oh, God, yes, I can feel that!
So what, you're some kind of sentient monster house? Sucks to be you.
No, I'm part of an ancient race of shapeshifters that have existed since before the dawn of man. In years past, we've posed as caves or cabins in the thick of the woods, anywhere that would seem like a safe haven for our prey.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I get it. You're like a big clam or something.
I'd say closer to a Venus flytrap. But I don't think your scientist would categorize my species as flora. Wait a minute. You're taking this incredibly well.
What's the big deal? You're a talking house. Ever since I stopped taking my meds, a lot of things have been talking to me. Before coming in here, I was just chatting with 2 talking dogs. I don't know what their deal is, but they were just planning to burn this place down. Excuse me, you down. But they were nice enough to say they'd wait for me to finish first.
Wow, you're actually literally completely insane.
Hey man, that's not nice. Although, it could be why I'm on my 4th foster family in 2 years. Find a few squirrels with homemade autopsies done on them, and everybody freaks out.
Why would they let you out on Halloween night with all the other sane children running around?
Oh, it's not Halloween. It's Devil's Night. Hence the vandalism.
Right. Well, let's get on with it. Fortunately, I don't need you to go into the den in order to kill you. Right now, I'm removing all the air out of this room. Once you've passed out, you'll slowly slide right where I need. Then I suck you up and swallow the remains.
Oh, hell no! You can kiss my ass, house. Take this. Kablamo!
Ah! Stop that!
No! You're trying to eat me!
You little... Finally, you have been the most troublesome meal I've ever dealt with.
Rude.
I guess in the end, you're just like every other stupid human.
Stupid? Me? I'm not the shape-shifting house who's so dumb that they put a giant laundry chute in the bathroom where your prey can easily escape.
That leads to the basement, you know. That's a hell of a drop.
Oh, you're right. I guess I'll just stay here and get eaten then. See ya.
Foolish human. What you thought was your escape turns out to be the heart of hell itself.
Yeah, whatever. What I want to know is, did I just land on a pile of bones? Holy crap, I did. Whoa, you've got like whole skeletons here.
Yes, that's right. Tremble as you witness the remains of my victims.
This is so cool. This place looks like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Except there's a lot of really small bones. squirrel bones, some cats. Huh,
What are you implying?
nothing?
I eat humans too.
I'm sure.
No. No. Don't do that. Don't patronize me.
Fair enough. I'm just saying I'd be a little more frightened right now if there was like one human skull.
You know what? Here. Just a sec. It's coming up there.
Whoa, did you just puke? But earlier you made it seem like your mouth was the fireplace. Wait. Is that your butt? Is the coal burning furnace your butt? Did you just poop a skeleton at me?
God, no, you're so weird, and stop trying to relate human anatomy to a shape-shifting creature.
I'm just saying, with every other creature in existence that I know of, food goes in one end and out the other.
It's my heart, okay? It's the heart of the monster. Notice how the burning coal inside kind of pulsates like the rhythm of a beating heart. No coincidence. Now would you stop asking questions? Go look at that skeleton and be afraid of me, damn it.
Fine. Alright, what do we have here? Definitely a human skeleton, so kudos there. Looks like whatever you have for stomach acid completely strips the bones, but for some reason leaves the clothes untouched? Great for presentation, but I'm not sure how that works scientifically. Look, his name's embroidered on his shirt.
You know what? You're a jerk. Just wanted you to be a little freaked out, but you couldn't even give me that, could you? So, whatever. Screw you, and screw that stupid skeleton too.
Hey, that stupid skeleton has a name. That's Disco Nathan.
Forget it. I'm done. I'm just gonna squish you.
Oh, trying to close the walls in on me, eh? Sorry, you stupid house. That ain't happening.
Your hammering against my pipes may be painful, but you'll be dead long before you can damage me.
Oh, totally. What if I break this water pipe and flood the basement? Then that whole furnace you call a heart will be extinguished. I'm pretty sure that'll kill you. Don't you think?
No?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Ah! Damn you, girl!
There's more where that came from. Take this. Whammo!
Oh, come on, seriously? Oh, you killed me! I can't believe...
Hello? House, you still alive? So dead. For real? Not for play? Okay. I'm gonna go then. Right. So I'm gonna take this furnace door as proof I came in here. Chad and his stupid friends aren't gonna be talking smack after I show them this. Middle school politics. Am I right? Right. You're dead. Plus, you're a house. Well, see ya.
Num 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 Num. I'm a House was written and directed by Joe Wakefield, featuring the vocal talents of Ryan Lang as the House, Lizzie Anna Wakefield as Tammy, and Joe Wakefield as Disco Nathan. Audio editor, Luke Fisher. Dylan K. Cutler, assistant audio editor. Tatter Tales was created by Joe Wakefield and Luke Fisher. Lizzie Anna Wakefield, executive producer. Well, Ryan, you're dead.
I am. She killed me well.
You were slain by a child.
At least I got to poop a skeleton at her.
So it was your butt.
It was.
Oh man. All right. So guys, if you like that, like I said, fourth week of every month, we're going to have one of those.
That's right. That's right. Tattered Tales.
Tattered Tales. Speaking of tales,
Yes.
what you have more Halloween movies you wanted to mention?
Well, I don't know if you'd even categorize them as Halloween, but they are definitely horror, and they're in theaters right now. I just went and saw Smile 2 with my girlfriend, and it was good.
I loved the first one.
I loved the first one as well. Arguably, that's like one of my favorite horror movies ever. And the second one did not disappoint. Definitely a little bit different on the scare factor. A lot of jump scares, and it got us a lot.
Oh yeah, jump scares and music stabs.
Yeah, and and they had scenes that even had like my jaw like that, like oh my god, like shocking shit. Like they did a good job with this movie.
Well, it's getting great reviews, and I love Naomi Scott, the actress who plays the main character. She was Princess Jasmine in the new live-action Aladdin movie, and she also played Kimberly Hart in the 2017 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers film.
Well, and she killed it in this role. Like definitely a great scream queen. It was good. And right next door, arguably a Christmas movie, but Terrifier 3 was playing in the theater next door. So it's like there's two good horrors out there right now for you guys to go to support.
Well, that one spawned, like we said earlier, from a horror, a Halloween movie. So I'd say it definitely counts, even though it's Christmas. Like Nightmare Before Christmas, sometimes things transcend.
Right.
There we go. Well, guys, are you a fan of Halloween movies? Because we have in store for you our Halloween movie trivia game. We have a bunch of fun guests here. So strap in. We're going to go to that right now.
Here we go.
And welcome to our Halloween game. We're very excited to have three amazing guests here. They're going to introduce themselves.
Hi, my name's Annabelle King. I'm an actor in Los Angeles and currently also making fried chicken.
My name is Daniel Pico, and I'm a writer and director. I'm looking forward to having some of Annabelle's fried chicken at some point.
I'm Danny Herb. I also enjoy fried chicken, but am also a writer-director as well and a studio owner for Rise Motion Picture Studio in Los Angeles. And looking forward to playing some movie trivia.
Excellent. So, guys, as you know, this multiple choice game involves buzzing in. And how we do that is you all get to pick your unique sound. And that's how we're going to do it. So, starting with Annabelle, what is your unique sound to buzz in?
All right. I chose this sound because it's the sound my brother's dog used to make.
Perfect.
Excellent.
I'm going to go with the tried and true, which is,
Nice.
I'm just going to go bing bong, bing bong.
Wonderful. So, Danny and Annabelle, you have to be warned that Pico is our reigning champion. He won the last game, so I hope you're ready for a battle.
I'm scared.
Bring it.
It was a lot closer than you all think, so I wouldn't feel too intimidated.
So today's game is all about Halloween movie trivia. Now, to clarify for our audience, that is films that take place on, around, or are about the holiday Halloween. So there you go. Not just Michael Myers, even though that will be included. Is everyone ready for the first question?
Yes.
Do it.
All right. Which of these horror movie sequels is actually a Halloween film? A, Hostel Part 3. B, Saw 6. C, Wrong Turn 5, Bloodlines. Or D, Amityville, The Awakening.
Womp.
Pico.
Saw Point Part 6.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Annabelle's next.
Amityville.
No, it is not Amityville either. Danny, would you like to take a guess?
Hey, let's try it. Was it Taken? Is that what you said?
There is Hostel Part 3 and A.
Hostel. That's the one. Hostel.
No, that is also incorrect. It turns
Oh my
out that Wrong Turn 5, Bloodlines, is actually a film that takes place on Halloween.
I don't think this has happened before.
Yeah, very good. I was wondering if these were going to be hard, and it looks like at least the first one was.
I like it.
All right, good.
Any of them.
Well, to be fair, Amityville: The Awakening was a 2017 movie that was a leftover from the Weinstein Company that was starring Bella Thorne. So I would be worried if you did know it. All right, guys.
So Wrong Turn.
Wrong Turn 5.
That was it.
By the way, there's 7 Wrong Turns. If you,
Oh
if you
my
were wondering.
God.
There's 6 sequels and then a remake.
At some point, they got the turn right.
Yeah.
They started using navigation.
It's an old franchise. GPS came out and that was the end of it. Question number 2. And that question is, in the cinematic classic Ernest Scared Stupid, how does one defeat a troll? A, holy water. B, milk. C, Norwegian river water. Or D, authentic Bulgarian miak.
Oh.
Pico.
Milk.
Milk
That's
is
correct.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes, until he basically turns into Super Troll in the 3rd act, you can defeat the trolls with a simple milk bath. Ooh.
Right.
By the way, I don't know if anybody these days appreciates Ernest, but Ernest Scared Stupid is actually, I would say, the best Ernest film. And that is just my humble opinion. Does anyone have an opinion on Ernest?
It's up there. It's up there.
Wasn't there one where he goes to jail?
Yeah, Ernest goes to jail, Ernest goes to camp, Ernest goes to Africa, Ernest goes fucking everywhere.
Ernest Saved Christmas.
I remember Ernest Saved Christmas, and then I remember being scared as a little kid and not watching Ernest Scared Stupid scared me.
I think they should do. Someone should do an AI mashup with Ernest Goes to Jail and the Shawshank Redemption. That would be quite extraordinary.
No.
I would want to see that. You know, they actually do have an Ernest Kickstarter for a comic book series, which was an unproduced screenplay. So anyone who wants more Ernest movies, you can just go look for that.
There you go.
Question number 3. The 3 witches in Hocus Pocus are Winnie, Mary, and who? A, Allison. B, Emily. C, Sarah. Or D, Victoria.
That would be Annabelle.
Sarah.
Sarah is correct. Annabelle gets it.
My cat's named Binks, so I know a thing or two about Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, you know, we tried to have a good variety of questions on this one. Hocus Pocus had to be in there because it is a quintessential Halloween movie in many, many, many people's repertoire. But the thing is, I've tried to be balanced because we have a good amount of kids movies and horror movies. So hopefully it'll be a good span. But I kind of thought you might get the Hocus Pocus. I got to be honest.
Because I'm a child.
No, because aren't we all children? All right. Question number 4. Who directed Halloween 4 Return of Michael Myers? Is it A, Dwight Little, B, John Carpenter, C, Rick Rosenthal, or D, Joe Chiapelli?
All right, Pico.
Dwight Little.
Dwight Little is correct.
God.
That is good. What was your favorite Halloween film in the Michael Myers franchise?
Me? I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and just go with the original.
Yeah?
Can't beat the original.
Anybody else?
I actually love Season of the Witch. I think it's so fun. I get why they brought Michael Myers back, but I do love that they were gonna try and do an anthology thing and it just didn't pan out. But yeah, Season of the Witch is so fun to me.
3 more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Yeah, I think that got stuck in my head forever.
Yeah.
Well, it's really London Bridge is falling down.
Oh my God, you just blew my mind.
Yeah, they needed a song that was rights free, and they were like, "How about London Bridge is falling down?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you're on the show, man. That's why you're on the show.
I'll say I have to say Rob Zombie's Halloween is probably my favorite. Honestly, I liked what he did.
Fair enough. The second one with Rob Zombie that had like the white horse dreams and all that other stuff. He got a little kooky with it, but I like the first one.
Not Rob Zombie.
I like the first one. I like the first one.
I do like the Rob Zombie reboot for sure, but I think when I was a kid, I watched the second one the most.
Halloween 2?
Yeah.
The one that takes place in the hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did like that one.
Are we not counting the recent trilogy in this?
Well, we're counting all of them, actually.
Okay.
Yep.
I'd say Halloween Kills I thought was really clever. I really liked Halloween Kills.
Well, Evil died that night. All right, guys. So we're going to jump into question number 5. You know, the joke didn't land, so I'm going to move to the next question. That's why it seems planned. All right. Question number 5. What is the name of the pumpkin-headed demon in Trick or Treat? Is it A, Sal, B, Tim, C, Tom, or D, Sam?
Pico.
Sam?
That is correct. It is D, Sam. Nothing to say there. I really like that movie, personally.
I just brought up Trick or Treat too.
So far, Pico has a commanding lead with 3 points. Annabelle's got 1. Danny?
You gotta do this, man. You got a goose egg.
Oh, I was like, how is that math working? And then I realized none of us got question number 1.
Yeah. Question number that never happened to us before, so I just put an X there.
That was actually question number 1 was the first question that I knew about, and I was gonna put on this list because I randomly was just Googling Halloween movies, and Wrong Turn 5 came up, and I'm like, well, that can't be right. And I like went into it. It's like, no, the whole place is like they throw a party in the woods and apparently took a wrong turn, and it was Halloween. So there you go. We're gonna jump into question number 6. Which band appeared at the Halloween dance in the 1999 film Idle Hands? Is it A, Blink-182, B, The Offspring, C, Smash Mouth, or D, Good Charlotte?
Pico?
The Offspring.
That is correct.
Yep.
All right. Daniel, you are killing it. I will say though, man, if you get 3 in a row, we're gonna have to like pause you, get another champion, and then have a tournament of champions.
That was the only one. Like I legitimately was like, I know the answer to this one. He beat me on the buzzer.
You gotta buzz loudly.
Always still chime in because I will pick who's second too. So even if he chimed in first, still chime in. I'll put you in line.
I mean, I did. I was like, bing bong, but it wasn't loud enough, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes volume beats who wins.
Pico's got a strong voice, that one.
Only reason I knew that is I had just, for whatever reason, did a deep dive on Idle Hands like 2 days ago.
Really?
It's such a good movie.
I did similarly, I did a deep dive on Devon Sawa, and that kid's a surprisingly large amount of Halloween films, I will say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I loved him in the Chucky series. I loved that so much.
They kept killing him and bringing him back.
So fun.
You know what was a good Devon Sawa movie unrelated to Halloween altogether? Was 2003's Extreme Ops. No one's heard of this movie. I don't know why it stuck with me, but it was a bunch of people on a ski mountain and they were like extreme sports stars, like we're doing Red Bull commercials or something.
That sounds very 2003.
And they stop a Russian plot, I think. I don't know. Or terrorists of some sort. It was 2003, so it was terrorists. But it was like white terrorists, so no one could get mad. You know how it goes.
Oh, no.
Question number 7. How many films are in the John Carpenter's Halloween franchise? Is it A, 13, B, 8, C, 12, or D, 10?
Bing bong.
That would be for Mr. Danny. Sorry, first time I had to say your name out loud. Sorry, Danny.
Just, subtly throwing some shade on your answer.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm already losing, so I'm just going to start guessing answers, and I'm going to guess 12.
That is incorrect.
Yeah, well.
All right, Pico.
It is 11.
That is incorrect.
Wow.
All right.
Also, wasn't choices, was it?
13.
Yeah.
That is correct. There are 13 films, and that is counting all the timelines, all the remakes, and the third one, which is unrelated.
Yeah. I forgot the Rob Zombie ones. Yeah.
Joe's very specific.
saying everything in the Halloween franchise, I think, was pretty all right. You know what, Ryan? Question number 8. Which of these films is a Halloween movie? So, which one of these 4 films is a Halloween movie? A. When Good Ghouls Go Bad. B. The Curse of the Screaming Dead. C. The House by the Cemetery. Or D. Sorority Braves in the Slimeball Bolorama.
Bing bong.
That would be Danny.
C.
C is incorrect. It is not The House by the Cemetery.
Oh.
What's up?
When Good Ghouls Go Bad.
That is correct. A. When Good Ghouls Go Bad. That is starring Christopher Lloyd, if anybody wanted to know. His first of 2 Halloween films. He also did a film with Rachel Lee Cook a few years ago, which was the Spirit Halloween movie. That's right.
Yeah. I heard you guys talking about that.
It's real. It would be like Party City, the movie, which, hold on, I've got a pitch for Party City, the movie I'll talk to you guys about later.
Is it like Clerks, but only at Party City?
Yes, but it's also an after hours. We got locked in during inventory day.
What? There was that Disney movie, The Phantom of the Megaplex.
I looked that up. It does not take place on Halloween, but it takes place on the movie premiere.
Damn.
Yep.
That movie feels very Halloween. Maybe it's the Phantom thing.
What's that, like Friday Night at Freddy's or something like that? What's it called? Like
Five Nights at Freddy's is, it's based on a video game franchise. The second one's coming out next year, starring Matthew Lillard and Josh Hutcherson.
Right, but they're trapped in a building, just like your idea. That was what I was going for.
The game, yes. The movie, they come and go a lot.
The movie, I knew about the game. That's all.
Fair enough. We're gonna jump into question number 9. In the film Night of the Demons, where do our ill-fated group of teenagers throw their Halloween party? Is it A, an abandoned insane asylum, B, an abandoned graveyard, C, an abandoned hospital morgue, or D, an abandoned funeral parlor?
I got to give it to Annabelle.
All right, I'm going to say C.
C, an abandoned hospital morgue. That is incorrect.
Pico.
D.
An abandoned funeral parlor. That is correct, Daniel. Anybody see Night of the Demons? What about the second or third one?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
No.
I like
the
that
lipstick scene is the one that you just go, oh my, they went there.
And that's all I will say about that.
That's all I'm going to say.
So, even though it is a bit of a formality, the final question is, which of these Halloween movies star Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen? Is it A, Halloween Town, B, Monster House, C, Double Double Toil and Trouble, or D, The Curse of Bridge Hollow?
Ding bong.
Danny.
Double Double Toil and Trouble.
That is correct.
I got one.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm on
Not a
board.
shutout.
That movie, the woman was trapped in a mirror. I remember that. I remember that movie well. Yeah.
It was really creepy.
It was.
So with the final score, we've got Pico with 6, Annabelle with 2, and Danny with 1. That was a good game, guys.
We did.
Joe, that was hard. I
did.
didn't know like more than half of that. I think I knew like 2 questions.
I wish we had more questions.
You know what?
I know, like
me too. But it is surprisingly difficult to look up. When I was so specific about what kind of movies count as horror movies, it like in this game, very difficult. By the way, do you guys remember who the old woman was in Double Double Toil and Trouble?
Wasn't it their grandmother?
Yes, it was Cloris Leachman.
Yeah,
the Young Frankenstein, everything. Raising Hope. She was great in that in her older career.
I love Cloris.
I love Young Frankenstein.
Cool. And I love all of you. Thank you guys
Aw.
so much for being a part of this game. Happy Halloween. As of airing, we got about 2 days to go. So do you have any plans for the holiday? What are you guys doing? Or if not on Halloween, what's the Halloween specific plan you may have?
I don't know. I think I'm working, honestly. Somebody's out of town. So I'll probably dress up like a cat.
Adults.
I think I'll either be taking my kids trick-or-treating or my ex has them and I'll be trying to find something to do. But either way, I'm not really prepared. So
Go to the West Hollywood Parade, man. That's always crazy.
It is fun.
I've just been doing the 31 days of Halloween, where I watch a horror film a day, and then basically post about it. And then I think I'm gonna try and hide from the kids in the neighborhood when they come trick or treating on Halloween. But I'm gonna be at the farmers market handing out the candy, so that I can kind of do one for you, one for me. As I
go.
So I think that's how I'll handle it.
What's been your favorite must watch for your 31 days?
Well, we did some classics. I got to show I like showing movies to people that they haven't seen. So we showed The Fly to a friend of mine.
Oh,
She'd
very
never
good.
seen that, so she
Classic.
was very she was taken
The
aback.
original or the
The
remake?
remake.
Okay.
And then we did Evil Dead 2. She'd never seen that.
Very good.
So those were all nice. Those were special to watch. I think my favorite, though, like new thing that I've watched that I hadn't seen was Revenge, the Coraline Forgot movie. Who did The Substance?
Substance was awesome.
Substance was great, but I watched it before October, so I couldn't.
Could you answer though? Is The Substance just essentially a remake of The Stuff? Because that's how it feels like to me.
Oh, not at all.
Not at
No,
all.
it's great. It's a ride.
Highly recommended. All right,
Yeah.
well, Daniel, since you are the champion of the game, your winning prize is plug your stuff.
Well, if those of you out there are interested in more than just horror, but you like some sci-fi, I have a TV series that I co-wrote that's currently in distribution on the Gala Film Network, and it was just nominated for a Primetime Emmy. So if you have a chance to check out Razor, spelled RZR, go to film.gala.com and check out Razor, and it's free to watch. Just sign up, and then you can see some really fun sci-fi, black market crime, hacker, Blade Runner-esque sci-fi fun.
That's fun.
Cool.
Excellent. Well, from everyone here at Earthling Entertainment and all our listeners, thank you everybody for joining us, and we'll see you on the next game. Bye.
Thank you guys.
That was a good game.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Trick or treat.
We actually don't send anyone chicken dinner. That would be funny, though. I wish we had like a weird gummy candy. Do you remember those gummy candies that always, it's Halloween, let's talk candy. Those
Yeah.
gummy candies that were always like the fake food.
Yeah, like the cheeseburger. Or...
Yeah. So if we get like little chicken drumsticks, then
That
we
would be-
actually can send the winners like a little chicken dinner.
That would be awesome, but those always were nasty. Those
Well,
always
well-
tasted terrible.
We'll get a sticker and we'll put it on a little Ziploc bag in the envelope that says, "We don't suggest you actually eat this."
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's fine.
I like that.
So, Halloween, just to end our Halloween thing, let's talk a little bit about haunted houses. So we live near, what was it, Eloise Asylum.
Yes.
And a few years ago, and this was a big deal asylum. You could look it up. It's supposedly haunted. Ghost hunters went there. Expedition X went there.
I did a little ghost hunt there myself.
Yeah. So Eloise is kind of a big deal in the spooky paranormal realm. Well, they turned it into a haunted house on Halloween. And I believe it was the first year. So I didn't go this year yet. I'm gonna, but I went the first year, and there was 2 haunted houses, and they were really good. The first one is you go through, and it's like the doctors, and it's all creepy, like the haunted asylum, like you'd imagine.
Yeah.
But the second one, you went through, and it was like, it gave the story that a gentleman was doing experiments on the inmates and turning them into like weird spider hybrids.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and there was a giant animatronic spider thing monster at the end.
That's sick. That's pretty cool.
Probably one of the best haunted houses I've ever been to. If you're in the Detroit area, check it out, the Eloise Asylum. I will suggest, though, get the Fast Pass because I don't know if they've improved upon it, but the first year I went, I waited in line for literally like 3 hours
My
while
God.
people with the Fast Pass went through like 4 times.
That is truly horrifying.
It was really rough. Now, I assume they've learned from their mistakes, but I still suggest just pay the extra money and get the Fast Pass.
And I remember I got the job at Erebus. I never
Which
went.
is a haunted house? What is that?
Yeah, it's a huge one. It was like one of the world's like largest haunted houses. It's like off of Woodward. I forget what city it's in. It's not that far from here. Yeah, it's in Michigan. And I got the job, and I was gonna do it, but it was just too far of a drive for the pay. I think that
Fair enough. And you got the job to just like jump out and scare people?
Yeah, that we were gonna, everybody was gonna get assigned a scene and this and that. And I've never walked through it, but I've heard people say that they like that. I remember I used to love the Scream Machine. That's another local one, and that one was cool. I remember like one room where like you walk through and it's just like straight up like Tyrannosaurus Rex, like gigantic head just snapping, and you have to like
that is fun.
You have to like creep by, like there's just enough room to sneak by on the wall.
I wonder if
to
it could
bite
be
you.
adjusted for people who are like overweight.
I hope so.
I'm just saying, if you got a huge belly, do they have, they're like, oh shit.
I remember, but I mean, it could have just been an illusion, but yeah, it seemed like it was like right there.
Fair
And
enough.
that was cool. I remember there was a haunted morgue, which was nearby. I remember going through that
Was
one,
it
and
an
that one was
actual
pretty.
morgue?
Yeah, it was. It was like a old morgue, but yeah, they literally took and made it into a haunted house. So that was perfect.
It'd be really funny though, is if it was just the people working at the morgue and they didn't tell anyone. Like they're just it's kind of like Risky Business with Tom Cruise running a brothel out of his house. It's just like they're just like, all right, guys, we don't want the morgue to go under. Not enough people are dying. We don't have, we can't pay our rent. What do we do? Jimmy stands up. Haunted house.
I mean, honestly, if that would be like a good idea, right? Like all the proceeds would probably help out.
Such an absurd idea for a movie, right? Could Weekend at Bernie's it like, we don't have any decorations. Prop up the dead people.
Like, yeah,
it'd be a dark comedy for sure.
It would be, but like, yeah, if they played it straight, like that could actually be pretty creepy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just like, oh, let's just do that.
Yeah,
they're just doing it.
You use what you're given. They're like, thank God this guy got run over by a train and is an amputee because we can put these legs over here on the chandelier. It's a legulier.
Man, you honestly like that would be a good movie.
Yeah, it's like I'm a writer or something.
It's almost like you are.
All right.
So speaking of haunted houses,
hold on though. Before you do, did you ever do an amusement park haunted house? Like one of those ones where like the Halloween weekends.
Yeah, I did that at Cedar Point, and I remember it was really weird.
Cedar Point is an amusement park in Sandusky, Ohio, and it has like some of the best roller coasters in the world. Continue.
And I remember it was really weird because like the whole ending of one of them was like they had a bunch of babies like strapped to the wall, and as you walked by, they would pee on you.
That is
as you walked by.
Ridiculous.
I'm not kidding. Like I remember that
guy
distinctly. Like I was just like, okay.
That guy was fired. They're like, okay, we're not inviting Jim back next year.
No, so there's that, and we never really talked about like Halloweeny music either. Like I'm gonna go see King Diamond. So and he's all about Halloween. So I'm excited to go see him. I'm gonna see him in a couple weeks.
That would be awesome. I've never seen King Diamond, but you know what I have done is at Universal Studios Hollywood, they have Hollow Weekends.
Yeah.
And same thing. But the thing is, the cool about Universal Studios is they own movie rights. So they have whole mazes dedicated to the movies. So a few years ago, like they had a maze that was what was it? Walking Dead. So it was a really good zombie one.
That's cool.
The Purge was great because when they had Purge people running around doing things, and they always just have the intellectual property haunted houses. As weird as that sounds.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's anything that you'd Chucky, it's a lot of fun. Some of these haunted houses, these haunted mazes, get really extreme though.
Oh yeah. So I've heard of this one before, and it's making headlines again. So this says, the extreme haunted house accused of being a torture chamber under disguise comes with a 40-page waiver as calls for it to shut down intensify. So it's in Tennessee. A Tennessee haunted house dubbed a torture chamber under disguise is still operating, despite the owner being probed for traumatizing visitors and calls for the sadistic experience to be permanently axed. It's called McCamey Manor. The controversial house of horrors in Summertown, about 70 miles southwest of Nashville, has for years been dogged by complaints of violence and inhumane treatment against participants who at one point were forced to sign a 40-page waiver just to enter. Some participants said they were waterboarded, tased, whipped, taunted with spiders, and trapped in boxes during their no-escape nightmare.
Yeah, that's extreme. Those have been around for a while, though. Like, our buddy passed away in 2011, and he used to say he wanted to do one of those. Like, they do, like, tie you up, put you in the dark. I don't know, man. It's extreme. Don't misunderstand. I wouldn't want to do it, but forced to sign a 45-page waiver just to enter. Hold on. Forced to just to enter? So they weren't forced at all. If they wanted to do it, they had to sign a waiver.
Right. And it's, they were not even permitted to leave originally in its early years, it says here, without the staff's permission. But since then, safe words have been implemented.
Okay, see, that one sounds screwed up because in my experience, they've always had like some safe word where you could end it at any time.
No, originally, after you signed that 40-page waiver, they could do whatever they wanted to you.
Well, okay, so that definitely, there are probably some lines crossed. I'm not saying that there wasn't, but the whole extreme haunting house has been around for a while.
I heard people got their teeth pulled.
See, that's fucked up.
I heard fingers have been broken. I've heard, like, I saw a lot of it, like this always seems to make rounds. You just walk into
Hostel. Oh my God, this is Hostel 4, bud.
Right.
Think about it. You lure them in with a haunted house, and then it's straight up people who like torture and kill people.
And you have them sign the waiver. That way it's like,
it's all legal. I mean, it wouldn't be legal in real life, but in movies, they would find a way to make it legal.
Okay, move along. Nothing to see here.
It's like, my daughter had her head axed. Well, she signed a waiver.
Tell me, is this her signature on this line? Tell me.
That's it. You got to be careful what you sign. You know, this one time I accepted to the terms and agreements to Apple. Next thing I know, I had an extra anus.
No. Oh, South Park, the human centipede. But yes, so if you guys are looking for some thrills, head down to McCamey Manor. I don't suggest it.
Yeah, probably not the best idea, but hypothetically, you could.
Hypothetically, you could, if and people who are going to this, they probably like that. Like, there's probably like a thing.
Well, I mean, I imagine there's people out there who are just like, can I deal with it psychologically? The other people who are cocky, just being like, oh, I can handle anything. And then there are people who get off on things that I wouldn't. And this could be part of that. You know?
I think
maybe it's a fetish for someone.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like, there are people who want to get struck and attacked.
That's what I'm saying. And you go to this place and that's their job. Like, it's
Can I say though, I always thought it would be funny to have like a dominatrix parlor, right? Like a parlor with all these different dominatrix, and you go in there, but we call it the Dominatrix, and everyone is dressed like different forms of Trinity, and like they got sunglasses and leather coats.
And then you just need one bald guy.
It's brilliant. I would make a killing before I was sued into the ground by whoever owns the right. I don't know who released Warner Brothers. The point is, they probably wouldn't stand for it, but it would be hilarious.
I know Kung Fu.
Like, for the last time, Dom. No, you don't.
Celebrity Jeopardy reference.
Nice.
So, everybody, I hope everyone has a safe and fun, happy Halloween. Carve your jack-o'-lanterns. Do not blow out the light. Don't do it. Let it burn.
That's true. It'll protect you from evil spirits. Now, I, on the other hand, do not care if you have a safe Halloween. I just hope you're safe. But if you have some crazy stalker chasing you, hey, it's all part of the holiday. As long as you get home by the end credits, it'll be fine.
I'll be right back.
So, from all of us here at Earthling Entertainment, happy Halloween. If you enjoyed the show today, please download the episode. If you really enjoyed the show today, don't just download this episode, download all the episodes. We got like 60 of them.
And trick or treat your friends with this episode. Share us with a loved one, with a coworker, with a friend.
with a lover.
Us. Join us.
Yeah, man, be part of the Earthling community. In fact, another great way to do that is you want a bumper sticker because we got these great Earthling Entertainment logo stickers. All you have to do is message us. Well, honestly, you can message us on any of our social medias.
Yep.
Earthling Entertainment on Instagram. The best way directly is the Earthling Entertainment Podcast at gmail.com.
Just Earthling Entertainment Podcast at gmail.com.
Thank you very much. See, this might be why. Maybe that's why we're not giving out all the stickers. I think is because I keep fucking that up.
That's
My bad.
okay. We got tons of them, and yeah, we would love you guys to get your hands on them.
Actually,
them around,
to be honest,
spread the word.
Actually, to be honest, we gotta order more because I have a very small stack. You need to give out more, sir.
I do.
Yeah.
I got quite the stack.
Go to more concerts. Put them in the more bathrooms.
That's right.
It's how we do it.
That's right. Coming to a urinal near you.
We don't suggest you vandalize with them, but if you do,
if there's other stickers there,
you know what? Yeah,
it's fair game.
That is a safe way to do it. It's kind of like smoking a cigarette because you see someone else smoking a cigarette.
Like, hey, it's okay. It's fine.
So if you see stickers, maybe throw a sticker.
That's right.
So, guys, enjoy trick-or-treating, enjoy carving pumpkins, enjoy avoiding the dark spirits of the holiday. And if you're Wiccan, enjoy your celebration. If you enjoy the harvest, enjoy that. But hey, Halloween, guys.
Happy Samhain.
Happy Samhain. And happy Halloween. From all of us here at Earthling Entertainment, see ya.
Trick or treat.
Trick.
Oh.
You could throw some for a loop and hand him a box of tricks and walk away.
That's perfect.
See ya.
Bye.
Earthling Entertainment special report. Someone has lit the black candle. This person was a virgin. The Sanderson sisters have been seen. Fuck. I was trying to think of something Halloween and funny that only some people would get. So if you want to chime in or have any ideas. Your turn. Ready? Earthling Entertainment special report. So, it appears that someone has messed with that weird little cube puzzle box thing and Pinhead and all of his droogs are along the way. I fucked that up. Yeah, Halloween's... See, I fucked mine up. I think the droogs, they're deadites. Oh, that's right, deadites. The droogs are from Orange, Clockwork Orange. Oops. I thought you were gonna be like, from Orange is the New Black, and I'm like, oh, it's a lady gang. Earthling Entertainment special report.